Is Fujifilm X-T50 better than Fujifilm X-T5? Is this possible? Let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. Tudor Matescu here. Please subscribe now to my channel if you aren't subscribed. So, I have here X-T50 with the infamous film dial and X-T5 that I've used for almost 2 years, I think, when it first appeared. So, I want to compare now X-T50 to X-T5. So, I'm using X-T5 for almost 2 years and X-T50 for a week. Is this a fair comparison? I feel yes, because I know Fujifilm, I know Fujifilm cameras, and I feel I can take a shot at this discussion. First of all, this discussion, it's a subjective discussion. My reviews are subjective. I'm not doing lab tests. I'm using cameras and I'm telling you my impressions about the results. This is what matters in the end. How you use a camera, the results, and how the camera made you feel. Well, X-T5 made me feel very stressed for over 2 years because the firmware updates were making the camera better or worse, and initially the X-T5 didn't have a very good firmware. The IAF was false positive, and this took at least 1 year for Fujifilm to resolve. And with the latest firmware, X-T5 still has a problem. And the problem is that the battery doesn't last as much as it was lasting when X-T5 had firmware 2.0. So when we are talking about X-T5, we are talking about a camera that is experiencing different firmware updates that are resolving some bugs, and after that they are inducing other bugs. So a difficult camera to love. And the next big reason why I didn't love so much Fujifilm is because of the weight. I was loving Fujifilm because of the weight, and I've criticized Fujifilm because they went on the Olympus route, making bigger cameras, bigger lenses for better image quality. And no small camera was released and no small lens was released till X-T50. So this where X-T50 is changing the game of Fujifilm, and it's changing the game in a good way. Because we can still talk about a small Fujifilm ultra capable camera. And this ultra capable camera, it is Fujifilm X-T50. And after 1 week, I feel that it's more capable than X-T5. So why is that? Let's talk about battery life. The battery life of X-T50 with the old battery, it is as X-T5. It's lasting like X-T5, probably a little bit under. I really can't say it very well, but I feel it's the same because the X-T5 battery dropped with the latest firmware for 0. So the battery of X-T50, it's lasting the same as X-T5. Of course, we can hope in the future Fujifilm will make a better, long-lasting battery with firmware 5.0 with X-T5, but who knows when they will do this. Next, there are some reports at higher ISO levels where X-T5 is inducing some noise levels. I didn't test that, but the reports were also on the battery life of X-T5. So I guess the reports may be right, and I was able to see some more noise at higher ISO levels in JPEG when shooting X-T5. I wasn't able to observe this with X-T50 for the moment. Next, the firmware. The firmware of X-T50 is much better, at least for the moment, than X-T5. It has sense, it's functioning. And it's well set. So you just take the camera out of the box and it's working. It's working with IAF, it's working with any lens very good. It's working with zone focusing. I was able to set the zone focusing on X-T5 like on Z6, how Omar Gonzalez was showing. And X-T50 was looking for the eye in the focusing zone. So X-T50 wasn't looking for the eye on the entire image like X-T5 is doing. It's looking just in the zone that you've set it up. I don't know if with the latest firmware 4.0 X-T5 is doing the same. I wasn't able to observe this for the moment. Okay, let me show you this feature that it's not on X-T5. It's not. So first of all, I have this zone focusing option. Look how nice it's working. Okay, and I can change it. Boom, 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 boom. Also, I will have a line like this or like this. So I will keep it like this. And look what is happening. When I'm in the zone, it's detecting my eye. Let me move a little far away and let me change the zone. It's not picking my eye. You're able to see that it's not picking my eye when my face isn't near the zone. When I'm getting it close, it's picking my eye. So you are able to see this very clearly. So it's not looking at my eye. When I'm getting it close, it starts to track my eye. Moving it a little far, it doesn't track my eye. This doesn't happen with Fujifilm X-T5. With Fujifilm X-T5, the zone, when you are in these zones, not in these custom zones that you can set, on X-T5 you can't set them, the camera will look at the eye and will treat the entire picture looking at the eye. Let me put a smaller point. The camera is looking at the eye with the smaller point. The entire image, it's looking for a person with eyes in focus. So I will put the custom zone, looking at the eye. I'm moving it away a little, not looking at the eye anymore. Moving it near the person, moving it far away. This is really great stuff, really great stuff. You don't have this on X-T5, and this is a game changer. This is a game changer, and this is why I'm saying X-T50 much better with IAF than X-T5, and probably the algorithm, it may be much better. Again, with the 35mm f1.4 and with other lenses, it was a breeze for me to get very good in sharp pictures, almost like on my Sony 7C. But X-T50 for sure is looking for the eye in the zone. And this is a big thing. This is a big thing for photography. So better AF functioning and better, smarter AF options. Of course, they will be someday on X-T5. Who knows when? Next, you have the film dial. The film dial, even if it's not at the level that it could have been if they will put custom recipes on FS1, FS2 and FS3, is helping take from the clutter of what the Q menu is doing now. The Q menu is saving all kinds of settings, and on X-T50 it's also saving power management settings. And this is a total mess when you want to use the Q menu just for recipes. So this is where the film dice comes into play. It will help you have better ergonomics with your camera regarding recipes. And more than that, the drive button, it is implemented on this dial. So it's very easy for you to choose the settings that you want. So it's very easy for you to go into the video menu. So click joystick and you're in the video menu. Very easily, very easily. And I was able to observe that even in the video menu, they did some tweaks. So all is functioning very easily, very fast. The X-T50 is not overheating. X-T30 Mark II and X-T4 were overheating when you were using clarity effect. This camera doesn't overheat, so I feel it will do a good job in video. Of course, probably not as long as X-T5, but overall, again, it's a next level small camera compared to what Fujifilm did with X100V also and with X-T4 and other small cameras that were overheating in video and when you were using clarity effect. X-T50 is not overheating. For the moment. I hope they will not make a firmware update where they will ruin this. Next, you have IBIS that it's working great. I don't know if the IBIS is a little better than X-T5, and it's possible. Why is that? Because it's the last generation and they've improved the IBIS mechanism. On paper, they say it's the same or almost the same. It's not important for me when I'm taking pictures with one hand. With X-T50 I'm able to get easier, sharper pictures and not moved compared to X-T5. Of course, it's harder to use X-T5 with one hand because it has a weight and you must use it with two hands. But overall, I was able to really feel the IBIS and the optical stabilization from the kit lens when using X-T50. With X-T5, I wasn't impressed with the IBIS, as I am with X-T50. So something happened with the IBIS here. It's working more efficient. The results are very easily to be observed. So I just took the camera one hand, 1/30, 1/12 seconds, and the picture was sharp on a 40 megapixel sensor in low light situations. How is this possible? With X-T5 I must take several shots to get it work. So they did something on X-T5. This is what I'm feeling. The IBIS, it is more efficient, or the optical image stabilization of the lens. For sure they've made some adjustments. Probably they can improve X-T5 with firmware, but who knows? And I don't know if they will be able to do this in the end. And the X-T5 will remain just a beta test camera, and probably the next level X-T camera will be X-T6. The next reason that I love X-T50 more for the moment than X-T5 is that the camera being lighter, it's easier for me to take it with me. So I've paired the camera X-T50 with Pro lenses, bigger lenses. This is Yongnuo 50mm f1.8 Pro lens, amazing jaw-dropping image quality. And also I've paired it with 80mm f1.4. The package in hand, it's amazing good, amazing package. And on your back and in your camera bag, very, very light. So I can take X-T50 with two Pro lenses, get full frame image quality, with these Pro lenses. And the camera bag will be as a full frame kit, let's say it, as a full frame kit. But if I will take X-T5 with the Pro lenses, no way, and especially in summer. Also in hand, easy to use, easy to maneuver, with one hand, with a bigger lens. It's a bigger lens. I can't do this with X-T5. It's cumbersome, it's big, and it doesn't have a grip. If X-T5 would have a grip like X-H2S, X-H2 or Z5 that had a great grip, then this will be another story. But because it has a weight to it, that it's not very well balanced, again, with bigger lenses you must use two hands. With X-T5, because it is lighter, the grip could have been better. The Olympus OMD M10 Mark grip, it is better than X-T50, but anyway, it is sufficient, and I can add the thumb grip or other grips because the camera, again, lighter. I can add grips. On X-T5, I'm not liking it. If you want a big camera, use X-T5. I'm not against it, but remember that on X-T5 you don't have a battery grip. So why would you use X-T5 and not X-H2 or X-H2S if you want a big camera with big lenses for wedding photography and with a nice grip to have some ergonomics there? So X-T50 is bringing again to life what Fujifilm was and is for me, a small ultra capable system. So this is where X-T50 is ticking these boxes, and I'm really glad that Fujifilm decided to make again another small camera. Yes, you could argue that you don't have weather sealing. I don't need it. You have just one SD card for hobby photography. Why would you need two SD cards? X-T5, it is for hobby photography. I never had a card failed in 20 years of photography. If you are doing wedding photography, yes, use two SD cards. And you could argue that you don't have a great EVF, but you have a good EVF. So overall, I feel what I lose versus what I gain, I feel the balance goes to X-T50. I gain a better camera because it is smaller, as powerful, but without the box of X-T50, and with better AF. I don't have the zone focusing and the eye tracking so good and limited to the zones as I have on X-T50. So it is better. If X-T5 will have this update, then will be another discussion. But till now, X-T50, it is the better camera for me. So I really do recommend it if you want a small, capable camera that can replace lots of cameras and cure your guess, then get X-T50. Fujifilm really did it with this camera. It's a great, amazing camera that Fujifilm did here. It is a killer camera. Really loving it, really loving it a lot. So check my next X-T50 videos, subscribe to my channel, give it a like, leave me your comments, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.